Welcome back to another tutorial video. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to commit your code to GitHub. Now, GitHub is a version control system to keep track of our code. So when you work on projects, GitHub will keep track of the different versions or changes you make to this project. Okay, so it's a publishing tool and a great way to collaborate with your teammates on one project or several projects. Okay, so this is my GitHub page. And what we are going to do to start with this particular tutorial is to create a GitHub repository. Now, the repository in this case is where you are going to be storing your code files. Okay, so as you can see, I have some repositories created in the past, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. So just straightforward, let's go back to the navigation right here on the top right corner. You see a plus icon. Just hover on it or click on it and you see a drop down. Okay, from the drop down, click on new repository, and on the new repositories window, okay, just go ahead and enter the name of the repository you want to create. Okay, so I'm going to call my own cleaning services, because the application I'm going to commit here is for a cleaning agency. Okay, now this is a free template I got from the internet. I'll show you how you can get this as well. Okay, yeah, all you have to do is to give credit to the developers and you'll be fine. Okay, so make sure that public is selected, and once you are done, you may not want to add a readme file. If you don't want to, you don't need to, you can just skip this and go ahead and click on create repository. Okay, so now we have successfully created a repository known as cleaning.services. Okay, now what we are going to do next after we are done with this is to move our code files onto this repository. Now, if you scroll to the bottom, you see there are some instructions, okay, on how to commit your code onto GitHub. Now, I'm going to walk you through these steps. Okay, now right here you have the remote URL. Okay, and this is the origin of your GitHub repository where you are going to be pushing the code to. So what I'm going to do is return to my home page, and let's just open our terminal app right here. Okay, so I have my terminal opened, and one way to kind of just open your project on the terminal is to just click on it and open with terminal. Now you can use the git commands. Okay, so you can use them to navigate your code. So cd meaning change directory, and then you can go to your desktop. Okay, so you can change your directory to your desktop, and once on the desktop you can cd to your cleaning, let's just say cleaning dash services. Okay, and there we have it. Okay, so we are on our cleaning dash services folder. Now we can initialize this git repository and just push that onto our remote directory. Okay, now alternatively what you can do is, let's just close this app, and then you can hover on the folder that you want to commit to GitHub. Okay, just hover on it, left click, and then open this file in a new terminal. Okay, so we can go ahead and click on that, and then that's exactly what we have. So once we have successfully navigated to the cleaning services folder on our terminal, now one thing to note is you need to install Git. Okay, so if you don't have Git installed, go ahead and just in your browser type in git-sem.com/download, and then right there you can download Git for the operating system that you are currently running. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, go ahead and type in git init. Okay, because we are going to create a local repository before we push to the remote repository. Okay, so we are going to initialize the local repository as a git repository. So go ahead and type in git init. Okay, now I've already initialized this git repository. Now another thing is you can type in ls. Okay, and this will list all the files that are within the cleaning services folder. Okay, so this is all the files that make up this whole folder that we are about to push to GitHub. We are going to add all these files to our local repository or into our staging area. So So we are going to add all those files by staging them for their first commit. So what you can do is go ahead and type in git add and then period, okay, or dot, and this will add all these files to the local repository and or the staging area in preparation for their first commit. Now that we have this, we can go ahead and type in git status to see all the files that are in our staging area. So these are all the files that make up the staging area waiting for the commit. Now that we have that out of the way, and then we have all these files in our staging area, what you will do next is type git commit dash m, okay, and then you add your commit message. Okay, so my first commit, okay, so that will be your commit message, and just hit on enter. Okay, so sorry about that, that was a spelling error. Okay, so we typed git commit. Okay, so we type git commit dash m and then your commit message, my first commit, and then you can close that out and enter. Okay, so now we are preparing all those files to be pushed to our GitHub repository. Now at this stage, you may be tempted to just type in git push dash origin master. At this point, by typing git push origin master, we have not added that remote URL, which is the origin. Okay, so this is our remote URL. We have the remote URL right here, and we haven't added that. I'm going to copy this remote URL. Okay, and now I'm back in my terminal. I'm going to define that by typing git remote add origin, and then I'll paste that URL we just copied. Okay, so we have git remote add origin, and the origin is the URL we just copied. So go ahead and hit enter there. So now that we have added our origin of that is the URL that we pasted right here. Now what we are going to do is just go ahead and push this code to our GitHub account. Okay, so go ahead and type git push origin master. Okay, so just type in git push dash or git push origin master and hit on enter. Now the code will take a few seconds to upload onto the GitHub repository. Okay, so now our code has completely been pushed to our GitHub repository. Now let's return to the GitHub repo and let's refresh. Alright, and there we have it. All the files that make up the cleaning services application have been successfully pushed to our GitHub repo. Alright guys, that is it for pushing your code onto GitHub. We have successfully pushed our code onto the repository that we created. Okay, now if you want to download these code files, you can go ahead and click on code, and then you can copy this URL right here and then download, or just type git clone and then you paste this URL right there. Okay, and then you can also just download the zip folder and extract it and work with it. You can use SSH keys, the GitHub CLI, whichever way you prefer. You can go ahead and do that. Okay, yes, so that's it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, support the channel, and do enjoy the rest of your day.